Number 2 seeded wrestler coming in, going against Joshua Dynas of Walkini. He's the number 1 rated wrestler. He's 29-0. This a rematch.
Yes, and we saw Dynas here last year take second to Shad Jacobs from Plainville. And Milliken, I believe, was also here last year.
Took third last year.
He took third, so this should be a good match. It's a rematch, like you said, at the regional finals, which Dynas won. But as we've already seen, that's not a guarantee of anything.
Jacobs won by a single point last year, 5-4. Joshua Dynas in the gold and purple. J.W. Milliken in the green singlet from St. Francis for head coach Larry Gable. Wyatt Froehling from Walkini for the Golden Eagles, their head coach.
Yeah, Wyatt's done an excellent job at Walkini. Their program was hurting pretty bad when he came there, and he's turned them into a very fine team.
Well, you have the Mid-Continent League champion against the Northwest Kansas League champion. Two heavyweights again, 275 pounds. Is there a maximum for these guys?
275 pounds.
It, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be unlimited, but they just, they felt like that was taking too much of a chance, getting some bigger kids out there and maybe causing a problem for some smaller kids. And Dynas is called for a stall there. He's been backing up, and we saw that last year in the state finals too. So he's going to have to start working forward, which he is doing right now.
Both wrestlers are seniors.
Which is liable to get the stall call going the other way from referee Jim Worth if it's not careful.
Well, we've got quite a race for the second place in the team race, team hunt right now. Oakley and Plainville within 4.5 points, and we're not quite too sure as to when these point totals were taken up. We'll have to try to update that if we can on the team totals. 3 seconds left. Yep, no score after 1.
A lot of mobility out there, but not very many points being scored.
Just trying to check, Fred, Scott, to see if those points were after Rochelle or not. I
believe they were.
Okay, if that holds true, then it looks like Oakley's probably going to be holding on to the second place finish. We'll get an official word in just a minute. Oh, the crowd's really cheering.
Yeah, Plainville came in with 87 points, and that was their only wrestler, so that should be up. Milliken just stood up and turned in for an escape to take the lead.
It looks like Stockton, Oakley, and Plainville are going to finish 1, 2, and 3. No back-to-back championships for Plainville, but back-to-back championships for schools from Rooks County. Well, those old Bulls are going at it, and right now Milliken up by a point. That escape puts them in front, 1-0 over Dynas from Walkini Trigo with 1:20 and counting in the second period.
That was a nice single leg pick by Dynas, and if he can hang on there, we got out of bounds. His knees were down, so there's no takedown.
That would have been holding if they were playing football. Those two big linemen doing battle. See the crowd over there kind of go, woo. They all move back. We got a
warning for Green. He could have called him for fleeing the mat there and given him a penalty on right away, but he felt like he was just working the edge, so he gave him a warning for stalling. So we've had both of them now warned for stalling. That was a nice single leg pickup by Dynas, however.
Well, Milliken lost his headgear and his hair all at once. No, wait a minute. Does that? Those guys.
I think the hair was already gone.
It was gone. Okay. I was a little concerned there for a minute. I saw him before come in, and he looks tough with that bald head. These guys, I tell you, they've got the faces to match. They look very serious. They mean business.
Just saw referee Worth tell them both that they'd been warned for stalling and they better not be backing up. So we'll see what happens here.
These guys both very strong too.
I'll tell you what, it takes a lot of courage to drop in there underneath a big fellow like that for a single leg takedown. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how big you are either. Nice drop there. Dinas gets the takedown. He's developed that move since last year, and he's doing it extremely well. He's awfully quick for a big fella.
Well, I like the looks of these two wrestlers, both very quick and strong. Milliken now trailing. That takedown by Joshua Dinas gives him a 2-1 lead with 3 seconds left in the second period, and that's the way it's going to go into the books.
That takedown could very well be the difference in the match, too. And I'm sure Dinas is going down this time, so he'll be on the bottom.
Both these wrestlers have been to state tournaments in their high school career. Dinas, a 4-time state qualifier. Milliken was here last year, took third. Dinas took second to Chad Jacobs. Now the heavyweight for a up-and-coming wrestling program at Fort Hays State University. By the way, get a plug in here for Fort Hays State. They're hosting the first-round RMAC contest this coming Tuesday night at 7:30. The men's basketball team seeing some action this Tuesday night, so that'll be right here at the Gross Memorial Coliseum, and that's where this State 321 Ace Championship is winding down. Again, we're at the heavyweights, 13th match of 13, and they jockey out of bounds.
Well, Dinas was on the verge of an escape there, but he couldn't break those hands loose, and referees are confirmed there. They may, I think, assistant referee Mark Wallace might have felt like Milliken wasn't making an attempt to bring him down, and maybe could have been called, but
Is there a prototype heavyweight wrestler? I remember a few years back for Stockton, a kid by the name of TJ Slansky, a tall, slender kid, and there's another wrestler for Northwestern Kansas who was tall, slender. Then you get the stockier guys, the muscular guys, a little bit heavier. Is there a prototype?
Prototype is big.
That's good.
That helps. Of course, my favorite heavyweight wrestler, I think, of all time was Curly Culp, who played football and wrestled for Arizona State University, was a NCAA champ, and he wrestled like he weighed 105 pounds. Okay, Dinas gets his escape.
Now out in front, 3-1 over Milliken of St. Francis. Milliken in the green, trailing by 2. This is the final match of this season of this tournament. A minute left.
Milliken trying to work in there with that underhook for a bear hug. And of course, Dinas doesn't want that to happen. He's got to get that daylight between him and Milliken so he can go for that single leg. And of course, Milliken wants to get in close.
.58 seconds and counting.
That was a good try at an arm drag by Dinas, but he wound up just making it look good. And at this point, when you've both been called for stalling, you want to make it look good because you want him to get called and not you.
Again, the team title really not up for grabs once we got to this championship match, but the second place trophy was, and it looks like the Plainsmen from Oakley will take home second.
Of course, you got to remember that team title was very much up for grabs last night.
Yes.
And it's a good job by Dinas in that arm drag and going to the single leg, and a good counter by Milliken by spinning out of it that way. And if you think these guys aren't working, that's a lot of effort to move that much weight around because they're both good-sized boys, and that's not easy.
As I said, you can see the expression of work and pain and running into a brick wall on their faces. Boy, I tell you, there's a lot of determination out there.
Both just got penalized for stalling.
Make it 4-2. Joshua Dinas in front. 12 seconds to go in this championship match at heavyweight.
Dinas gets the takedown by sprawling out, getting Milliken under him and just spinning on him. The old practice room spin drill. And it's all over.
J.W. Milliken gave it a heck of a try. The senior from St. Francis, slow getting up off the mat. Boy, hats off. He made it a heck of a match.
I think that's the best heavyweight match I've seen in a long, long time.
Good try for J.W. Milliken, but the win goes to Joshua Dinas as he ups his record to 30-0, and both wrestlers have had tremendous tournaments, and they each had a couple of falls to get to this point, but the win goes to Joshua Dynas as he takes second last year, he takes first this year. For J.W. Milliken, he takes third last year, he takes second this year. So a tremendous match ends this tournament, and again, the heavyweight championship goes to Joshua Dynas, the final 6-2 as he goes on in this weight class. Let's take a look at some of the other results here as they go to the medal stand, I believe. Let's see, what weight are we on right here at 189. As we try to play catch up here, and we'll be ready to wrap up in just a few minutes. But at 189, the state wrestling championship again goes to Jesse Prater. And Keith O'Halloran, you see, coming to the stand, getting his medal. And Jesse Prater from Minneapolis stays undefeated at 32-0 on the season. And the the Minneapolis Lions picks up a state championship to take home, and that's at 189. We'll be seeing 189 off the stand in just a minute, and they'll bring the heavyweights up.
I don't know if you noticed a difference in the championship bracket there this year as opposed to other years. Usually it's just a flat cardboard one like the second place wrestler's holding, but Fort Hays has gone to the trouble this year of cutting it into the shape of the state, and it's kind of an attractive bracket.
Yeah, I like that. In sixth place for Hays, in sixth place at 189, Hays of Ellis, a win. In fifth place, Dynas from Waukene Trigo Community High School gets fifth. Let's see, Bell picks up a third place from Atwood, and Butler picks up a third place. Butler checking in from Belleville. They get, as we said, second place to O'Halloran, and Prater gets the championship. So we'll get the medals here in just a second at 275 and let you see these young men as we try to pick up the high schools. When they move them through the bracket, we didn't get some of the schools filled in, so that's the reason for my delay a little bit and my hesitation, as we want to give these young men with their schools, so we'll try to mention that. But it's been a good tournament, as I said. 13 matches, 26 wrestlers coming in. As you said, the team title was up for grabs last night, but not today as they get into the championship match. It was a 3 or 4 team race coming in last night, and Stockton took it away today as they went into the championship match. They finished with 2 champions, individual champions, all 6 of their wrestlers placing. Oakley will finish second, Plainville will finish third, and after that it's going to either be Atwood and St. Francis, Silver Lake's up there, followed by Hoxie, Waukene, and Hill City and Oberlin. They're getting ready to award the medals 6th through 1st in heavyweight. And a tremendous tournament. Anything really stand out in your mind as far as expectations or unfulfilled expectations or surprises?
I just thought we had a whole lot of good finals matches, and a lot of times the finals are kind of disappointing. You see these good wrestlers get in there, and everybody's afraid to move, and consequently the matches get a little bit dull and boring. But I thought we had some excellent matches. I thought the heavyweight match was well worth the effort to watch. It's just a lot of good wrestling by a couple of pretty good-sized wrestlers that could have taken another way.
Let's take a look at the medalists at 275, and then we'll give you all the champions. Then we'll be able to say goodnight or goodbye for now until next year. But 275, let's take a look at how that breaks down. In 6th place at this tournament,
Staub from Plainville.
Scott Staub from Plainville took 6th. In 5th place was Henry Lee from Pleasant Ridge. In 4th place was Lance Stahl from Oakley.
Lane Stahl
from Oakley. And in 3rd place,
Brining from Hill City.
Rob Brining from Hill City. And then, as we said, in 2nd place, J.W. Milliken from St. Francis, and the champion coming to the stand in just a few seconds, Joshua Dynas. So 6 medals this year, and a nice round of applause for the wrestler from St. Francis. And now here's your heavyweight champion. Yeah, a good cheer from the group on hand. Quickly, let's go over the individual champions at 1-3. At 103, Billy Gable from St. Francis, 26-3 on the season. The champ at 112, Tyler Samuelson from Oakley, 27-1. At 119, Justin Potter from Silver Lake. He goes to 32-2.